Welcome to the Finance Wisdom Summaries.
Die with zero, getting all you can from your money and your life. Introduction: Optimize your life. Bill Perkins introduces the core philosophy of die with zero, emphasizing that life is about maximizing positive experiences rather than accumulating wealth endlessly. He challenges the traditional view of saving indefinitely by drawing a parallel to an optimization problem: how to maximize fulfillment while minimizing waste of life energy. The author, an engineer by training who made his fortune as a trader, views life as a finite adventure and stresses the importance of deliberate choices in how we spend our time and money. He argues that many people delay gratification for too long, saving money for experiences they will never enjoy, which he considers terribly short-sighted. Key takeaways: maximize positive life experiences. The primary goal should be to get the most positive experiences out of life. Life as an engineering problem, to maximize fulfillment and minimize wasted life energy. Time is finite. Recognize that time, unlike money, cannot be recaptured. Squandering life should be a greater concern than squandering money. Deliberate choices. Avoid living on autopilot and consciously decide what makes you happy. Then convert your money into those experiences. Timing matters. The ability to enjoy different experiences changes throughout life, so timing your experiences properly is crucial for overall lifetime fulfillment. Daily application. Reflect on your values. Take time to consider what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. Is it travel, hobbies, spending time with loved ones, or contributing to causes you care about? Prioritize experiences over accumulation. If you find yourself consistently delaying experiences for future savings, reassess. Ask if the future benefit truly outweighs the present opportunity cost. Conscious spending. Instead of habitual spending, make deliberate choices about where your money goes. For example, evaluate if a daily expensive coffee is more valuable than a weekend trip you could take without accumulated money. Embrace the honorary billionaire mindset. Within reason. Spend your money in a way that maximizes your experiences without hoarding wealth that won't be used.
Chapter 2. Invest in experiences. This chapter argues that experiences are a valuable investment because they yield memory dividends. Unlike material possessions, which depreciate, experiences gain value over time as they are relived through memories. Perkins uses the analogy of traditional financial investments that generate future income. He extends this to human capital, suggesting that investments in education or skills can lead to future payoffs beyond just financial returns. The key message is to invest in experiences early in life, as this allows for a longer period of reaping memory dividends. The chapter also introduces the concept of experience points as a way to quantify enjoyment from activities, allowing for a more deliberate approach to planning life's fulfillment. Key takeaways: experiences as investments. View spending on experiences as an investment that pays ongoing memory dividends. Memory dividend. Memories from experiences generate additional enjoyment every time they are recalled, effectively compounding over time. Start early for maximum dividends. The earlier you invest in experiences, the more time you have to collect memory dividends, leading to greater lifetime fulfillment. Quantifying experiences. Assigning experience points to activities helps in consciously evaluating and maximizing enjoyment over time. Prioritize return on experience. Shift focus from purely financial returns to the return on experience when making spending decisions. Daily application. Actively create memories. Engage in activities that are likely to create strong, positive memories. Consider taking photos, journaling, or sharing stories to enhance these memory dividends. Don't postpone joyful experiences. If an experience can be had now and is likely to generate significant memory dividends, don't delay it waiting for more money or a perfect future. Seek free or nearly free experiences when young. When financial resources are limited, actively explore free or nearly free experiences that can still generate substantial enjoyment and memories. Reevaluate spending habits. Instead of mindlessly spending on material possessions that depreciate, consider redirecting those funds towards experiences that grow in value over time.
Chapter 3. Why Die with Zero? This chapter directly addresses the die with zero philosophy, arguing that excess wealth at death represents wasted life energy. Perkins illustrates this with the story of John Arnold, a billionaire who continued working long after accumulating more money than he could realistically spend, highlighting the Brewster's Millions problem, the difficulty of spending vast fortunes. He contends that many people, even the wealthy, save excessively due to fear of running out of money, leading to a life of working for free for money they will never enjoy. The chapter introduces the life cycle hypothesis by Franco Modigliani, which posits that rational individuals should aim to deplete their wealth by the time of death for maximum utility. Perkins also discusses the go-go, slow-go, and no-go years of retirement, emphasizing that spending ability and desires decline with age, making it less efficient to save too much for later life. Key takeaways. Waste of life energy. Dying with unspent money means needlessly wasting precious hours of your life spent earning that unspent money. Optimal utility. Aiming to die with zero aligns with the economic principle of maximizing the utility, enjoyment, derived from one's money over a lifetime. Declining spending with age. Research shows that people's spending, even including healthcare, generally declines in older age, making oversaving for retirement inefficient. The go-go, slow-go, and no-go years. Recognize that your capacity for active and expensive experiences diminishes over time, so front-load your spending in earlier, healthier years. Irrational fears. Many fears about running out of money are irrational, especially for those with sufficient resources, leading to excessive precautionary saving that goes unspent. Daily application. Calculate your working for free hours. Estimate how much money you might leave behind and calculate the equivalent hours you worked for free to earn that unspent money. This can be a powerful motivator to adjust your spending habits. Examine your retirement spending projections. Research realistic spending patterns for your desired lifestyle in retirement, accounting for declining activity levels with age, rather than assuming constant high expenses. Confront fear of running out of money. Acknowledge and quantify your financial fears. Explore options like long-term care insurance to address specific concerns without oversaving for unlikely catastrophic events. Prioritize health investments. Understand that investing in preventative health early on can lead to a higher quality of life and more enjoyable experiences in later years, potentially reducing expensive end-of-life care.
Chapter 4. How to spend your money without actually hitting zero before you die. Perkins acknowledges that hitting exactly zero at death is impossible due to the uncertainty of life expectancy. However, he emphasizes that this doesn't preclude getting close to zero. He suggests using life expectancy calculators as imprecise but useful tools to estimate one's lifespan and make better financial decisions. The chapter introduces financial products, specifically annuities, as a means to mitigate longevity risk, the risk of outliving one's savings. Unlike life insurance, which addresses mortality risk, dying too early, annuities provide guaranteed income for life, allowing individuals to spend down their assets more confidently. Perkins advises against trying to self-insure for longevity risk, as individuals lack the risk pooling ability of insurance companies, leading to oversaving. The overarching goal is to maximize total life enjoyment, not wealth maximization. Key takeaways. Aim for close to zero. While exact zero is impossible, the goal is to get as close as possible to zero at death to avoid wasted life energy. Utilize life expectancy calculators. These tools, though imprecise, help in making more informed decisions about spending and saving by providing an estimated lifespan and probabilities of living to certain ages. Address longevity risk with annuities. Income annuities are presented as a rational financial product to guarantee income for life, protecting against the fear of outliving their money. Avoid trying to self-insure for longevity risk, as individuals lack the risk-pooling ability of insurance companies, leading to oversaving. The overarching goal is to maximize total life enjoyment, not just wealth maximization. Financial tools should serve this primary objective. Daily application. Explore life expectancy calculators. Spend some time using online life expectancy calculators. This exercise, though potentially morbid, can provide a realistic perspective on your remaining years and motivate more deliberate financial planning. Investigate annuities. If you have concerns about outliving your money, research income annuities. Understand how they work and consider if they fit your financial plan to enable more aggressive spending in your active years. Consult a fee-only financial advisor. When seeking financial advice, be clear that your goal is to maximize total life enjoyment, not just wealth maximization. A fee-only advisor can help structure a plan that aligns with this objective, potentially incorporating annuities or other strategies for responsible spending. Shift spending based on health. As your health declines with age, consider front-loading experiences that require more physical vitality. This means being willing to spend more in earlier decades and adjusting spending downwards as you age.
Chapter 5. What about the kids? This chapter directly addresses the common objection to die with zero regarding inheritances. Perkins argues that leaving money as an inheritance at death is often suboptimal because it arrives randomly and frequently too late to have the greatest impact on the recipient's lives. He points out that the peak age for receiving inheritances is around 60, a time when the money may have less utility for life-changing experiences compared to earlier ages. The author advocates for giving while living, transferring wealth to children and charities when it can have the most significant positive impact, such as helping them buy a house or fund education during their prime years, for example, ages 26 to 35. He emphasizes that a parent's true legacy is not just money, but the shared experiences and memories with their children, which are invaluable and cannot be delayed. Key takeaways. Inheritances are suboptimal. Leaving money at death often results in random amounts of money at a random time to random people, arriving too late to have maximum impact. Give while living. Transfer money to your children and/or charity before you die when it can have the most significant positive effect on their lives. Optimal age for gifts. Research suggests the ideal age for children to receive financial gifts is between 26 and 35, when they're mature enough to manage wealth but young enough to fully enjoy its benefits, for example, buying a house or starting a family. True legacy is experiences. Your most valuable legacy for your children is the shared experiences, lessons, and memories, not just monetary wealth. Charity can't wait. Similar to giving to children, donating to charities while alive ensures the money is put to use sooner, maximizing its impact and addressing current needs. Daily application. Discuss intergenerational wealth transfer. Have open conversations with your family about your intentions for wealth transfer. If you plan to leave money, consider giving it earlier to support specific goals like education or a down payment on a house. Prioritize shared experiences with your children. Actively create meaningful memories with your children throughout their lives. Don't sacrifice time with them for excessive work or future savings, especially during their formative years. Be a live giver to charity. If you have charitable intentions, consider making donations during your lifetime rather than solely through your will. This allows you to see the impact of your generosity and for the funds to be utilized sooner. Consult an estate planner. Seek professional advice to structure intentional gifts to children or charities, ensuring they are distributed effectively and at the most impactful times.
Chapter 6. Balance Your Life.
This chapter delves into the dynamic balance between spending and saving throughout different life stages. Perkins challenges rigid financial rules like the 50-30-20 rule, arguing that the optimal balance shifts with age, income, and health. He reinforces the idea that it's often rational for young people to save less or even borrow, as their earning power and health are likely to increase significantly. The core argument is that the utility of money, or one's ability to extract enjoyment from it, declines with age due to diminishing health. This implies that spending should be front-loaded in healthier, more active years. He uses examples like travel, sports, and simple physical activities to illustrate how declining health limits the enjoyment derived from money. The chapter emphasizes that health is actually a lot more valuable than money, because it is the primary multiplier of enjoyable experiences. Key takeaways: dynamic balance. The optimal balance between spending and saving changes throughout life. A fixed savings rate, like 20%, is not optimal for everyone at all ages. Spend more when young, responsibly. It can be rational for young people to save less or even borrow for experiences, given their higher earning potential and greater capacity to enjoy physical activities. Utility of money declines with age. The enjoyment derived from money diminishes as health declines, making it less efficient to hoard wealth for very old age. Health is paramount. Health is the most significant factor affecting lifetime fulfillment, as it enables the enjoyment of experiences regardless of financial wealth. Trade money for time and health. In middle years, when money is often more abundant, consider spending money to free up time from chores like house cleaning or laundry service, or to invest in health like a gym membership or trainer. Daily application. Adjust savings rate seasonally. Instead of a fixed percentage, consciously adjust your savings rate based on your current age, health, and income projections. Save less when young and able to enjoy experiences, and potentially more in mid-career. Then spend down later. Prioritize health investments now. Actively invest time and money in your health through exercise, nutrition, and preventive care. Recognize that improved health enhances the enjoyment of all future experiences. Outsource undesirable chores. If you have the financial means, consider spending money to free up time from chores you dislike, like house cleaning or laundry service. This converts negative experiences into free time for positive ones. Evaluate would I rather scenarios. When faced with a spending decision, ask yourself if having one experience now is preferable to having two similar experiences later, considering your declining health and ability to enjoy them.
Chapter 7. Start to time bucket your life. This chapter introduces the concept of time buckets as a practical tool for planning life experiences. Perkins explains that life is not a continuous, undifferentiated period, but rather a series of distinct seasons or mini-deaths where certain opportunities close forever. Examples include the phase of watching children's movies with young kids, or being able to participate in physically demanding activities like mountain climbing. The time bucketing exercise involves drawing a timeline of your life and filling each 5 or 10-year interval with desired experiences, initially without considering money. This proactive approach differs from a traditional bucket list, which is often a reactive compilation made in old age. The goal is to maximize fulfillment by consciously planning experiences for the optimal time before health or other life circumstances make them impossible or less enjoyable. Key takeaways. Life as time buckets. Divide your life into distinct time segments, example 5 or 10-year intervals, and plan experiences for each, recognizing that opportunities close as you age. Mini-deaths. Acknowledge that different life stages end, and once a mini-death occurs, example, your child is no longer a toddler, that specific experience with them is gone forever. Proactive versus reactive planning. Time bucketing is a proactive approach to designing your life, contrasting with a reactive bucket list often created when time is running out. Timing of experiences. Certain experiences are best enjoyed at specific ages, particularly physically demanding activities, which should be front-loaded in younger, healthier years. Avoid regret. Deliberately planning and having experiences at the right time helps prevent future regrets about missed opportunities. Daily application. Create your own time buckets. Physically draw a timeline of your life and populate it with experiences you wish to have at different ages. Start broadly, then refine. Prioritize age-sensitive experiences. Identify experiences that require a certain level of physical health or are tied to specific life stages, example, travel with young children, adventurous sports. Schedule these sooner rather than later. Revisit your buckets regularly. Periodically review and adjust your time buckets as your interests, health, and life circumstances evolve. This ensures your plan remains relevant and optimizes for new opportunities. Practice anticipatory savoring. Imagine that you are a tourist in your own life. Be mindful of the limited nature of current experiences. Like tourists, savor everyday moments and relationships as they too are fleeting.
Chapter 8. Know Your Peak. This chapter introduces the concept of a net worth peak, which is the point in your life when your accumulated wealth should be at its highest. After this peak, the goal is to decumulate wealth, spending it down to zero by the time of death. Perkins argues against the common tendency to continually accumulate wealth, showing that median net worth often continues to rise well into old age, resulting in money left unspent. He emphasizes that the peak is a date linked to biological age, not a number, as maximizing wealth for its own sake detracts from maximizing life enjoyment, especially as health declines. The chapter provides a formula for calculating a survival threshold, the minimum amount needed to live on, to alleviate fears of running out of money before starting to spend aggressively. Perkins uses his 45th birthday party as a personal example of deliberately front-loading a significant, memorable experience despite the substantial cost because it aligned with his time bucket and the health of his loved ones. Key takeaways. Identify your net worth peak. This is the point when your wealth should be highest, after which you should begin spending it down. For most people, this is between ages 45 and 60. Peak is a date, not a number. Focus on the optimal age to begin decumulating wealth rather than an arbitrary financial target to ensure you have health and time to enjoy experiences. Calculate your survival threshold. Determine the minimum amount of money needed to cover your basic living expenses for your expected lifespan, using this as a baseline for safe spending. Spend aggressively after your peak. Once your survival threshold has been met and you've reached your peak, actively spend down your remaining wealth on experiences that bring you joy, especially those that require more health. Resist work autopilot. Even if you love your job, be mindful of continuing to work and accumulate wealth beyond your peak. Prioritize spending that money on experiences or giving it away to avoid waste. Daily application. Estimate your net worth peak. Consider your current age, health, and financial projections to determine a realistic age range for your personal net worth peak. This will inform when you should start shifting from accumulation to decumulation. Perform a survival calculation. Use the provided formula or consult a financial planner to calculate your personal survival threshold. This number can provide peace of mind and justify more aggressive spending on experiences. Rebucket your life with finances in mind. Revisit your time buckets, now incorporating the cost of desired experiences. This will help you allocate funds strategically to ensure you can afford activities when you are best able to enjoy them. Challenge your spending habits. If you find yourself consistently saving beyond your survival needs or delaying spending, consciously challenge those habits. Remind yourself that money loses utility with age.
Chapter 9. Be bold, not foolish. This chapter encourages readers to take calculated risks, particularly when they're young and have little to lose. Drawing on the experiences of entrepreneurs like Mark Cuban, Perkins highlights situations of asymmetric risk, where the potential upside of success far outweighs the downside of failure. He argues that when young, individuals have more time to recover from setbacks, or reload in poker terms, and that failures can still yield valuable memory dividends. The chapter contrasts bold, well-timed risks with foolish ones, particularly as one ages and has more responsibilities or a diminishing capacity to recover from physical risks. Perkins advises quantifying your fears to understand the true risk involved, suggesting that many perceived downsides are not as severe as imagined. The ultimate message is that inaction, or choosing the safe path of quiet misery, can be the greatest risk, leading to a life with fewer experience points and potential regret.
Key takeaways. Take risks when young. The ideal time to take significant risks, career changes, adventurous travel, starting a business, is when you're young, because the potential upside is high and the downside is limited due to ample time for recovery. Asymmetric risk. Seek opportunities where the potential rewards significantly outweigh the potential losses. In such cases, not taking the risk can be more detrimental in terms of emotional regret and missed experiences. Memory dividends from failure. Even if a bold endeavor doesn't succeed financially, the experience itself can generate positive memories and a sense of pride from having pursued an important goal. Quantify your fears. Break down your anxieties about taking risks into concrete, quantifiable terms. This often reveals that the worst-case scenario is not as bad as initially imagined. Inaction, or choosing the safe path of quiet misery, can be significantly lost experience points and a life less fulfilling than it could have been. Daily application. Evaluate career risks in your 20s or 30s. If you're young and considering a career change or an entrepreneurial venture, assess the real downside. Often you can reload or find alternative work if it doesn't pan out, making it a bold but not foolish risk. Don't let fear of moving limit opportunities. If an exciting opportunity arises in a different location, quantify the perceived losses, example, cost of flights to see friends or family, against the potential gains, example, higher salary, new experiences. Don't let vague fears dictate your choices. Be bold with spending in later years. As you get older and have accumulated wealth, the bold action shifts from career risk to spending money. Have the courage to decumulate and enjoy your wealth on experiences while you still have the health to do so. Consciously prioritize. Regularly reflect on whether your daily choices and long-term plans align with maximizing your life experiences, or are they driven by autopilot and irrational fears?
Conclusion. An impossible task, a worthy goal. Perkins reiterates that dying with zero is an impossible task to achieve perfectly, as no one knows their exact death date. However, he emphasizes that the goal itself is worthy because it shifts one's mindset from endless accumulation to maximizing life experiences. By striving for zero, individuals are compelled to live more deliberately, invest in memorable experiences, give to their children when it has the most impact, and contribute to charity while alive. The core message is to break free from conventional thinking that prioritizes working hard and saving for a distant, potentially unenjoyed retirement. Instead, the focus should be on making the most of every year of life by acquiring cherished memories, as the business of life is the acquisition of memories.
The main idea of Die with Zero. Die with Zero advocates for a paradigm shift in how we approach our finances and lives. Instead of endlessly accumulating wealth, the core philosophy is to maximize your lifetime fulfillment by strategically spending your money on meaningful experiences and giving to loved ones and charities while you're alive. Recognizing that health and opportunities decline with age, the book urges readers to front-load their most desired experiences, especially during their golden years, typically 45 to 60, and to mitigate longevity risk with tools like annuities. By embracing a deliberate approach to spending and giving, rather than living on autopilot or succumbing to irrational fears of running out of money, you actively participate in shaping your life, making it a fill and fur dynamic.
If you enjoyed the content, please consider supporting the author.
Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe. Now, let's go to the next video.